Greetings, beloved, and praise the Lord. This is your friend Jarvis Bailey. Today is Monday, March 23rd. It is day 3 of our 21-day challenge. I am in Montross, Virginia, Virginia's beautiful northern neck, the land between two rivers, the Rappahannock and the Potomac rivers. I'm in my office. Among the many things that I do is serve. One of them is to serve as a high school administrator, something I absolutely love because it gets me around students and teachers. And as you have heard, I am an inspired teacher. I love the learning, teaching environment. So this is awesome. About 10 years ago or so, I was asked to be a part of a Black History program, and this program was designed to honor African American writers, African American authors. And for the program, I thought it would be cool for me to do an original piece, something that I had written back in the mid to late 80s when I was in seminary. During a time when I needed to give expression to some things that I was feeling, needed to find my voice. And so I wrote this piece. I thought it was dope, and it had a certain feel to it. I was trying to tap into my roots, into my heritage, and I thought it would be cool if I found a musician. And so thinking about the piece was called This One. This One. This one for the warriors. This one for the rebels. This one for all them that refuse to be status quo. For there come a time in everyone's life when they must be free, when they must claim their dignity, when they must take their rightful place with all humanity. This one for the warriors. This one for the rebels. Now that was the chorus, if you will, and there were lines to it, and I thought it was deep and dope, and one day I'll do it all for you. But with the flavor I had, I thought it would be really cool to get a congo player. And in our community, there is a fabulous Afro-Cuban congo player. He's a master. In fact, I won't even do him justice by sharing his story, but what I can tell you is that West African Congo players have deemed him as a master. They've invited him back to Mother Africa, and they have said that the rhythms that exist in Cuba have maintained the integrity of what came from Africa, and he is one of the masters we now have in this part of the world. And he's in our community, and I happened to get to know him. We were attracted some years before we actually performed this piece. And so I thought it'd be cool to have him do his thing. And so we had a couple of practices, and we went for it. And on the day of the program, I was doing my thing. This one for all the warriors. This one. And he was doing his thing. He is a commanding presence. Dreadlocks, gray. He's an older gentleman. He had on his Afro-Cuban attire. Just a wonderful figure. And he was doing his thing, and I was doing my thing, and we were just going for it. And the students loved it. They gave us a rousing ovation. They asked for more. I mean, it was a success. And afterwards, I had a conversation with him, and I didn't think, I enjoyed it, but I wasn't sure about how it was going to be taken. And we did get that rousing ovation and thunderous applause. And he said to me, do you know why it worked? And I'm not a musician. I am an author, but I don't know if I'm all that gifted a poet. I try my hand at it, love poetry. But I guess he could see my confused look, and he said, here's why it worked so well. He said, I know it felt like maybe you were off balance and we weren't really together, but somehow or another, you found a way to work through the rhythm. The African rhythms were complex. They were what they were. We had had a couple of practices, and we went for it. And what he explained to me was my ability to, and maybe not ability, call it what you might, but he said I was able to work through the rhythms, and that's what made it successful. Today we found out that our schools are going to be closing for the remainder of the school year, of the academic year. We right now are in uncharted waters. We're in a confusing time, a complex time. And I don't know, sometimes if you're like me, you try to be strong and maintain your composure. You know, the first rule of engagement is never panic or don't panic. But sometimes things can be overwhelming, they can be complex, and today it felt like a ton of bricks, they were just dropped on us. But here's the thing. What's going to make us successful in this endeavor is our ability to work through it. We will overcome. We will come together. We will instinctively do some things and play to our strengths. But what's going to get us on the other side to be successful is our ability to work through it. All the complexities, all the ins and outs, all of the unknowns that we're going to face, what's going to make us better, what's going to make us successful is how we navigate it, how we work through what's in front of us. I'm going to read a piece from my book. This is, of course, my book, 3 Minutes with God. That's what this is all about. I said that one of the things I could do during this crisis is do what I can. And I'm offering this book. If you purchase the book during these 21 days, all the proceeds go to charity. It's not about book sales. It's about doing what I can do. If you don't have the book, that's great. You can give directly to a cause. I'm just saying, if you want more of this, if you purchase the book, that's what's going to happen with the proceeds. So coming from my book, 3 Minutes with God, a weekly devotional for inspiration and encouragement. By the way, there's a book that John Maxwell wrote some years ago called Encouragement Changes Everything. And I believe it does. I am an encourager. And so a piece today, a devotional today, that I'm offering to you is called It's Your Availability. It's Your Availability. Taken from 2 Kings chapter 5, verses 2, 3, and 4. And the Syrians had gone out on raids and had brought back captive a young girl from the land of Israel. And Naaman went in and told his master, saying, Thus and thus said the girl who is from the land of Israel. In the end, Naaman gets miraculously healed from his disease. But Naaman, captain of the Syrian army, is not the hero of the story. Elisha, the man of God responsible for administering the healing, he is not the hero either. He was doing his job. The real heroes are the nobodies, whose names don't even appear in the story. We only know them by their position, servants. But it's not their ability, it's their availability that matters. First, there was the young girl taken captive from Israel who had been given to Naaman's wife as a maid. My guess is that she did not want to be there at all. She was taken from her home and forced into servitude. But there she was, available to be used by God. Because of her, Naaman found out that there was a man who could heal his disease. Then there was Naaman's servants. All we know about them is that they were with Naaman. But because they were there, when he did not believe the prophet, they were able to encourage Naaman to follow the instructions of God's man and be healed. It wasn't the servants' ability, but their availability that made the difference. Whoever, whatever, or wherever you think you are or are not, know this: God can use you. Because of the nameless characters in the story, a man's life was changed forever. But their names now appear in another story, and yours can too. Because it's not your ability that matters, it's your availability. Grace and peace, Jarvis. Go make a difference. I'll see you next time. Love you. Bye.